Hi there everybody, Jared Dees from thereligionteacher.com, and I want to share with you today something pretty cool. Groundhog Day, February 2nd, actually has its origin in Christian history. Most of us know that February 2nd is Groundhog's Day, but it's also a feast in the Catholic Church. It's the feast of the presentation of the Lord. This is, of course, the story in which Mary, especially, and Joseph take Jesus, the boy Jesus, to the temple for purification, Mary's purification, according to the Mosaic law, 40 days after Jesus was born. So that's why February 2nd is 40 days after the Feast of Christmas, after Nativity. So there's this 40 days. Okay, February 2nd. But over time, there's this practice that developed, and many of you might be going to these kind of celebrations. There is Candlemas, or Candlemas, in which the laity, the people, including also the church priests, the clergy, they're bringing candles to be blessed at this Mass. It's a very ancient ceremony, a very liturgical blessing in which candles are being brought in, they're being blessed, and people go about their day. And a tradition developed at Candlemas that these candles weren't just blessed as a special day, they were also meant to be used for the winter time. These are candles that are going to be used for winter. And if it was cloudy and cold that day, then it was going to be a shorter winter. And if it was a nice day and the sun came out, then there was going to be 40 more days of winter. Now think about that. There's 40 days after Christmas, 40 days of winter. How many weeks is that? 6 weeks equals about 40 days, 42 days, right? That when we say 6 more weeks of winter, when the groundhog sees his shadow, it's really referring to another 40 days of winter. And that has its origin in this celebration of Candlemas, this blessing of the candles. According to history, at some point, the Germans had started using an animal rather than the candles to represent that weather forecast of a longer winter. At first, it was a hedgehog, and then eventually it became a groundhog, especially as the Germans moved over to the States. And in Pennsylvania, they started having this celebration of Groundhog Day. But I think it's really interesting to know that where does that 6 more weeks of winter come from? It comes from that 40 days of weather forecast, if you will, in that celebration of Candlemas, which was more of an ancient celebration. That February 2nd is the Feast of the Presentation of the Lord, and that has a historical connection to where we are today with this fun little holiday we have in the States, especially, called Groundhog Day. So interesting little tidbits of information. Get your candles blessed if you can. Check it out to see if you have a Mass on Groundhog's Day. And let's see if there's going to be some longer winter for 40 more days or not. Go make disciples. God bless.